Welcome back to another edition of the Baltimore Ravens Blitz. Week 7 now. We're going to look back at Week 6 rather. We're going to look ahead to a matchup against the New Orleans Saints. A really intriguing matchup between these two teams. A 21-0 win for these Ravens last week against the Tennessee Titans. A pretty dominant showing from start to finish. A shutout. They hold the Titans to 7 first downs, 2.6 yards per play. They also set a franchise record with 11 sacks in that game. Really dominant showing. And you look back the last 10, 15, 20 years, how good this Ravens defense has been. And you think about setting a franchise record, I think that's significant no matter what these Ravens do. They've been so good defensively for so long. Offensively, Michael Crabtree, I think the story of that game, he said he had to get his act together coming out of Week 6, a loss to the Cleveland Browns where he had a couple key drops in that game, put that loss on his shoulders. He came out and made an impact early in this game, 6 catches for 93 yards, also caught the first touchdown pass of the game. He was the recipient of the offensive game ball in the locker room after the game. John Harbaugh threw him the ball. He made sure to look at the whole way in before he caught it. A good sign, a veteran receiver getting his mind and his body back where it needs to be. You look at what that did in the AFC North. So you couple that win for the Ravens along with the Bengals 28-21 loss to the Steelers. You have both those teams now sitting at 4-2. Bengals beat the Ravens earlier this year. The Ravens do get Cincinnati at home. The Steelers lurking back there at 3-2-1. And the Browns, oh, by the way, not a pushover. A lot of people really believe in this Browns team. They're 2-3-1. The AFC North, one of the better, more competitive divisions in football. And I would expect it to stay that way all the way up through Week 16. All right, to take a closer look at this Saints team, a very good team on both sides of the ball. They do come off a bye week in Week 6. They have some challenges ahead. You look at Baltimore, Minnesota, the Rams, and the Bengals in the next 4 weeks. This will kick off a pretty telling stretch for this Saints team. Got Mark Ingram, the running back from a 4-game suspension 2 weeks ago. They rode him to a big 43-19 win over the Washington Redskins. Dominant showing on a national stage. That game also featured Drew Brees moving into the #1 place all-time career passing yardage. He passed Peyton Manning for that honor. Drew Brees, a key part of this offense for so many years. He turns 40 in January, doesn't show any signs whatsoever of slowing down. He's still a guy who's going to make subtle maneuvers in the pocket. He's going to make quick reads. He's going to diagnose defenses as well as anybody in the NFL. He had an easy time against Washington, 26 out of 29, 363 yards, 3 touchdowns. Redskins made it look easy for him. Of course, he made it look easy for himself. Now has 72,103 passing yards in his career, but it's worth saying he is 0-4 all-time against the Ravens. Needless to say, Baltimore would like to make that 0-5 in this matchup. As a whole, this Saints offense, 40-plus points in 3 out of the last 5 games. Each of their last 2, they've topped 40. They're as explosive as anybody. With that passing game, they also have a dynamic running game with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. They've won 4 straight games now. A very balanced roster, a very balanced approach. This isn't the Saints team that used to go pass happy all the time. They've built a very good football team down there. Defense had some shaky moments early in the season. Now they've given up less than 20 points in 3 out of the last 4 games. It's a big test for the Ravens. Both teams, I think, have legitimate Super Bowl goals. All right, a few matchups to watch, a few things to watch for this game. Ravens, Saints, a clash of styles in some ways. Number 1, I would say Ravens pressure. Of course, 11 sacks against the Titans is impressive. This is a whole different animal facing this Saints team. Drew Brees gets the ball out so quickly. Will the pressure get there in time to impact a few throws, to rattle him a little bit? That will be a very important part of this game. How about the Saints run game? You had Mark Ingram come back. They lost sight of Alvin Kamara, one of the most dynamic runners in the NFL. I suspect the week off will help them find some balance. You'll probably see heavy doses of both of these guys, and they're going against one of the more traditional power run defenses in football in the Ravens. And then the Ravens passing attack, you got to assume the Saints are going to get their points. 24, 27 might be what it takes to get it done for the Ravens. Can the Ravens passing attack do that week in and week out? You've seen flashes for sure. I'm not sure if you can take that to the bank yet. If they can get to that 27-point mark, I do like their chances of winning. So who is going to win the game? PennLive beat reporter Aaron Kazanitz joins us now to break down the matchup a little bit further and give his prediction.
The Ravens need to get their passing game going. There's been a lot of talk about Baltimore not running the ball effectively, but Joe Flacco averages 5.3 yards per pass attempt in Cleveland, easily his lowest output of the year. We wouldn't be talking about the Ravens needing to run the ball if he completed a couple of those passes to Michael Crabtree. Crabtree had a few big drops. If he maybe hit John Brown deep over the top of the Browns defense once, The Browns did a nice job of covering those guys. With the Titans, they're ranked 3rd in points allowed. They have a very good defense. They have the best red zone defense. So the Ravens are going to have a challenge, but if they can get that passing game going, they should be in good shape. And I'm going to guess they do that. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Ravens probably have the edge over Tennessee.
All right, thank you, Aaron, and thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Baltimore Ravens Blitz. You can join us all season long on PennLive.com. Also subscribe to the PennLive YouTube channel. Jump in there in the comments. Tell us how wrong Aaron is for his prediction for this game. Enjoy the game. We'll see you next week.